Hey all, this is Ryan Monso, and this is GoCoogs interview. I've got Jayme Hollingsworth here. Jayme has been writing the scouts that you've been reading on our website. Jayme is a basketball nut. All he does is live for basketball, and he knows what he's talking about, and that helps quite a bit. So Jayme, we're going to talk about West Virginia, U of H's first ever Big 12 game. This one's a big one, and I think it's going to be a really good crowd. But this is a really hard team to prepare for.
Right.
Because you don't know what you're getting. This team was a different team 3-4 games ago.
Absolutely.
But they've added so much in the last few games. Tell me a little about that.
So they have several guys that were two-time transfers that just got ruled eligible 4 games ago. Their best player is Raekwon Battle. He was sick the first game that he was eligible to play, so he didn't play that game. So he's played their last 3 games. Even if they just added him, that's 27 points per game that he's averaging since he's been back. So he's a legit 3-level scorer. He's an NBA prospect and a really good player.
This is sort of like catching a team in mid-November. Like they're just played 3 games, basically. You had a whole different team 4 games ago, and now you've added him, and you added
Carissa
from Arizona, which U of H fans remember. And is Farrakhan just after the last 3 games?
I think he's played a couple more than everybody else, but
yeah, I think he had a 9-game thing, and so he got back a little earlier. Do you think they're starting to gel, or is that a ways off?
I definitely think they're getting there. So when I watched them, the first team that I thought of this year was Memphis.
Okay.
They're a team that's built through the transfer portal, and it took them a few games to gel. And now, I mean, they're arguably as good as anybody.
Yeah.
So I could see West Virginia being very similar to that, as they have 5 or 6 guys that are transferred in and are really good players. But when you've never played on the same court together, then it's going to take a little while. But by the second half of the Ohio State game on Saturday, I thought they really started to gel. They were way down to start, and then they just started making shots and inching back in, and they were able to force them to overtime. And so they looked a lot better in the second half against Ohio State.
Besides Battle making shots, what was it that changed for them in that game?
I mean, he was in foul trouble in the first half, so they didn't have him. But guys like Farrakhan were making shots. Carissa, he makes good passes. He gets the ball where it needs to go, and they were just able to battle back.
If you had to describe West Virginia in a sentence, how would you describe them? And we're going to get the team walking right behind us. They're heading to the court.
If I had to describe them in a sentence, I would just say they're getting better, and don't underestimate them.
You called Raekwon Bell a volume scorer. What do you mean by that?
So when he touches the ball, he's probably going to shoot it. He's averaging under 1 assist per game and 27 points per game. So he's getting his shots up. There's a good chance if he touches it, it's going up.
Okay. Are you putting Jamal Shead on him?
Probably not. I think he's probably got to guard Farrakhan.
Okay.
I would put Cryer on Carissa, and I would try Sharp first on Battle.
That's interesting. Why do you think Jamal has to go to Farrakhan?
Farrakhan is so shifty. He's really good at getting to the basket, and it seems like Jamal does the best job of keeping guys from getting to the basket. He's a great mid-range scorer. He makes some awkward shots, and he makes it look good. But I think you got to put a little bit more size on Battle.
Okay.
Just because of his ability to get to the rim. He can shoot over some of the smaller guards. So I would try to put a little bit more size. Obviously we're missing Terrence, but that would have been a really good matchup.
Yeah.
Would be Terrence on him.
Is it safe to say there are some matchup issues here for U of H?
I think there might be guys like, I can't say it right, but Slazinski.
It doesn't matter. He plays for the other school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a stretch 4. He can step out, shoot the 3, he can get to the basket. battle 6'5", shoot inside, outside, mid-range. A cock, he's more of a defensive player.
Mhm.
But if we're really focusing on some of these other guys, then he can clean up the boards and get some offensive putbacks, things like that. So, yeah, they've got some mismatches for sure.
So you think Slazinski is a Jawan guy? Jawan plays. That's who he's going after.
Yeah.
And then Akak is going to be JoJo and JV. Yeah. You like Slazinski. We're just going to call him by his number. We're not going to call him by that name. You like him as a player?
I do. The ability to shoot the ball consistently at 6'9". If our guys are getting back on defense and he's trailing, they're going to look for him to shoot the secondary three. If you rush out on him, then he can head fake, get to the rim. So he's a mismatch nightmare. He's similar to Carlson from Utah.
Okay.
He's not quite as tall as him, but they have a similar game to where they can play inside or outside.
Okay. Carissa is the cocky kid from Arizona. Jamal played against him in the Sweet 16 2 years ago and shut him down. I think he went 1 for 7.
Right.
Was a non-factor.
Right.
But he's a guy that can take over a game. And with the different options they have, I mean, they could get it from anybody.
Right.
And this is a really, I wouldn't call it a scary game to start out Big 12 play, but it's a really tricky one just because of you're getting a team that really still hasn't figured out who they are.
Right.
They're going kind of soft in practice this week to get their legs under them so they can play this game. They know it's going to be difficult on them. U of H's defense is going to be something they've never seen.
Right.
Where do you think this game ends up, and does U of H win it?
I think that the toughest team wins, the team that gets on the floor the most, the team that rebounds the best, and I give the big advantage to U of H on that. They don't seem like a team that's going to be the first one on the floor.
Okay.
There are a lot of finesse guys that are really good at what they do, but I think the toughest team wins in this one.
They haven't been punched in the face like
Right.
they're going to get hit
Absolutely.
on Saturday. And I think that's going to be a fascinating matchup. If you were getting West Virginia in 6 weeks, it might be a whole different thing.
I mean, their big guy's not playing.
Yeah.
And he's, other than Hunter Dickinson, he's widely regarded as maybe the number 2 transfer portal guy in the whole country.
Yeah.
So we lucked out not having to play him. But this is a team that in the Big 12 championship, like the Big 12 tournament, they'll be a team that you want to watch out for because they will be gelled by then. They should have him back. And if they're healthy then they're going to be a problem. Yeah.
All right, Jayme, thank you for that. GoCoogs.com on YouTube, all other social media, and GoCoogs.com. Just go to the site, read his stuff, and, all of ours too.